And I have seen this man just transition for like 2 or 3 years nonstop. He went to the Special Olympics.
Wow.
Everything. We was able to get him training for different events. And when I say my best success story was him.
Wow.
Because he taught me everything about the business. Because guess what? He was a transporter.
Wow.
himself.
What do you need improvement in?
Just want to get them win.
What is the purpose of overthinking? You're taking care of your loved one. That's how you can increase your sales.
Hello, everybody. This is Ferris.
And this is Caleb Lenoir, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with the Homecare Guyz.
All right, Caleb, man. Today we are back in the interview seat, brother. We have an amazing guest today, bro.
Yes, we have the entrepreneur himself.
Mr. Entrepreneur.
Mr. Entrepreneur, Mr. Tim Maddox. Y'all, let's welcome Tim to the show.
Yeah,
What's up, Tim?
Yeah, but thank y'all.
How you doing,
Brother, man. Look, this has been a long time coming, man. Like, oh my gosh, very busy, man. Very productive, man. You got a lot of things going on, bro. HDT is just amazing. Got touching a lot of people, bro. But man, welcome to the show, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, Tim, I'm gonna tell you this. So a little bit about Tim. Tim is homegrown, so we all from Sparta, Georgia.
Yes,
so we from the country, so where you walk barefoot going to the pond. So Tim, I just want to I want you to introduce yourself to our audience because our audience probably don't know you. So just tell us a little bit about you, about your family, even about your businesses, that what you got and how you serve the community.
Well, okay, like you said, I'm from Sparta, Georgia.
Yes,
the one and only.
The one and only Bulldog Nation, brother.
Oh yeah, I run a few different companies. We got the non-emergency, the party rental. You opened up a waste management company a little while back. You got the nonprofit, which feed between 200 or 300 every week.
Wow.
Like I said, we steady growing.
Yes.
I mean, it ain't the first business, it ain't gonna be the last.
Right.
As you know. But
Man.
like I say, just a simple guy trying to do simple things and look, make
Bruh.
it in life. So
Man, I want to kind of take it back, man. So where did this entrepreneur bug kind of bite you, man? Because again, you just don't wake up and say, okay, well, hey, I'm an entrepreneur. So kind of walk us back to the early days of Tim Maddox.
Well, the early days of Tim Maddox was a broke man. So I decided that, when I started working that, hey, I had a better desire to work for myself. And I figured out that as long as I invest in myself, I can invest in other people.
Wow.
And I figured that, hey, as long as I provide a job for certain people, hey, that's an opportunity for them.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So, and that's my main thing. My goal is not to actually just work, but to give back. So that's where I mainly want to stay at, giving back. I mean, you can make $1 in a day.
Exactly.
But
Yep.
impacting somebody's life is totally different.
That's priceless.
Exactly. Well, let me ask you a question. So you said your first. Okay, what was your first job? That's the first thing because you do so much. What was
Not your first business. What's your first job?
Winn-Dixie.
Oh, wow.
Winn-Dixie Marketplace.
Back in the day.
Oh, my goodness.
Back in the day.
So you were in high school or?
Oh, yeah, I was in high school.
Wow.
High school. So I was driving on, I think I had the Black Mountaineer dance.
I remember that.
I had to make some money.
I remember that, man.
It took some games.
Exactly.
And so pretty much, so you went from Winn-Dixie, and then what actually? So you said what triggered you like to actually just start your first LLC? What was like?
Pretty much when I was in real estate school.
Okay.
So when I went,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So when I went to real estate school and I found out that an investor make more money than the agent, I'm like, oh, I'm in the wrong field.
Wrong seat. Exactly.
Right.
So going from there, I met a couple nice people and a couple brokers, and they just trained me, and I learned from there, and I just kept moving.
Wow. So was your first business, actual business, investing in real estate?
Yes.
So what type of real estate were you investing in back then?
Just single family home.
Okay.
I think my first 2 I bought in 6 months, man.
Wow.
So I was moving at 18. I was moving.
That's what's up, bro.
I think our paths crossed during that time.
Oh yeah, we did.
I remember talking to him downtown. I was like, damn, we trying to get real estate, brother. We need some help. I don't know. He was trying to help us. We was trying. Yeah, well, that's when our paths initially crossed, and so I was like, yeah. And then we got in healthcare.
Oh yeah.
So tell us how you led into healthcare. How led into what's called Heaven's Door Transportation.
Yes, that was by accident. Believe it or not. How we got into it because I brought a bus for my church. Me and my ex-wife brought a bus. And I'm like, okay, I got a 15-passenger wheelchair bus. I don't even know how to use that thing.
Wow.
So I said, I'll tell you what, let me learn. And I said, well, after a year, the budget kept sitting there. I'm like, I'm not doing nothing with this. So my ex-wife was working for a hospital company. She would tell me, okay, this company, this is what they doing. I'm like, shoot, man, well, I might as well jump in this.
Exactly.
I've already got it, so I might as well do it.
Right.
And believe it or not, within a year, man, we jumped from one vehicle to, I think, my first, but in 3 years, we jumped to like 6 vehicles.
Wow.
So no, we stayed and we're moving, so.
Dude, and transportation, I guess, and you all really solved the need because, of course, living in a rural area, a lot of people, they don't have adequate transportation or access to transportation. And not only that, man, you guys did it in a systematic way because I know one of the biggest things, especially in Medicaid transportation or in transportation in general, is like, man, we cannot get somebody to pick us up on time. It's like all that, but you all ran. I remember going to your office plenty of times, and you all run a really quality tight shift on with your vans as well, man.
Oh yeah, because we changed the concept of how we ran. We specialize in workman comp transportation. Most folks ain't understand that. We never did Medicare, Medicaid. We stayed private the whole entire time.
Wow.
So before I really got into business, I went to talk to other big companies, and they were like, well, if you can stay private and hit $10,000 a month, you can do anything you want.
Wow.
So after I actually did it, it came easy then.
Oh man.
So like I say, transportation was great too. COVID hit.
Yes.
Other than that, it's beautiful. I still love it to today. I mean, I got drivers out now taking care of people.
Wow.
Doing amateur wheelchair scratchers. I mean, throughout the whole state of Georgia, Southeast region.
That's crazy.
I mean, we be all in Tennessee, South Carolina, Florida.
Man.
Make things happen.
Wow.
That's crazy, man. And it's funny that you said when COVID hit, things happen. So kind of take us back to COVID. When did you all really feel the effect of COVID? I know it hit really in Georgia like March 2020. When did y'all really feel the effect of the?
It really hit me in April. Because what we specialize in was, if you don't go to work, you don't get hurt.
Correct. Yep.
I mean, I hate to say it like
exactly.
that. But that was our specialty.
I didn't think about it like that.
I ain't think about it too,
So that's where we really took a big hit. But because, with workman comp, it's a 30-day, 45-day, sometimes 90-day payout.
Correct.
I had checks coming in way after what COVID was gone, so I was able to pay my staff while they stayed home.
Wow.
So, I mean, but things happen.
Well, it's ironic because I thought you was just full Medicaid, like a Medicaid
Never
transportation.
been it. Never touched it.
Smart man.
Wow. So you all private pay?
Yes, sir.
And workers' comp?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. So with Heaven's Door, like what is your vision like for Heaven's Door? Is you pretty much you're Southeastern, right? You say, wow, man. So what is your vision? Is it pretty much kind of keeping it around Southeast? Or
we're gonna try to keep. We was going at one time going to a franchise before COVID. We were finna set up our second office in Alabama, and we had one going up in South Carolina. But things happen.
Yep.
Right.
But like I said, we still running those areas. So. My main thing is what we're trying to do is downsize, go to smaller vehicles for I can have older drivers.
Yes.
So we realized that older people make some of the best workers.
Yep.
So
very consistent.
They're very, like you said, consistent, and they understand what somebody else is going through.
Exactly.
And so I can tell everything come back to customer service.
Exactly.
Well, I would love to hear one of the stories, like one of your success stories of maybe a patient that you were dealing with, like with workers' comp that pretty much kind of didn't have a transportation or needed the service for a certain time. Like, do you have like a success story that you have?
My
really
best one was my first workman comp client.
Oh, okay.
I never forget.
We gonna believe how his name.
I'm sorry. He's no longer here.
Okay. All right. Believe how his name. Go ahead.
We have my first workman comp client, and it was by accident. They called me out of the blue.
Wow.
And I'm like, can you move this client? He's in the wheelchair. He has to go to Dublin, and he need to go every week.
Wow.
I'm like, okay. So we made it happen. So then, next thing you know, they're like, he need to go more places. And I have seen this man just transition for like 2 or 3 years nonstop. He went to the Special Olympics.
Wow.
Everything. We was able to get him training for different events. And when I say my best success story was him.
Wow.
Because he taught me everything about the business. Because guess what? He was a transporter.
Wow.
Before he even got hurt, he was a transporter.
That's crazy. It's funny how like God will put people in your life at the right time, and sometimes even you're the leader, but you're the student as well.
Yes.
It's like you're getting paid to learn. It's almost like going to college, but you have the job already that you dreamed of. Like, so you're really learning on the job, and those things, and those full circle moments where those things that happen at the right time.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it was just honestly amazing. And I mean, like I said, I learned everything from him. And he was like, those hour rides.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, let me tell you how. Let's do this. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to do this. I'm like, okay, I know how to do this. No, let's look at a different direction.
Wow.
Let's show you how to. Now let's go to expanding now. So we was able to just.
So he was like a mentor, like not only a clown, but a mentor.
He was the mentor.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. It's so ironic that I hear you say this because when we started our business with Homecare, we actually were the caregivers as well.
Oh yeah.
So it seemed like you were a part of your business. You pretty much was a driver as well for your business until you started to scale and build.
Yes.
And so same for us. Like I think that a lot of entrepreneurs, especially when we talk about business, a lot of people want to not touch their business, and you have to touch. It's so important to touch it. Some people cannot touch and be successful, but it's so important for you to touch it and to know so you can know your pulse, know what your caregivers are going through, know what your drivers are going through, your nurses, etc. So I commend you on that. Well, let's fast forward into and so you got a successful healthcare business, and it seemed like entrepreneurship that doesn't stop. So what was the next thing that you say, let me spark my interest in this?
Believe it or not, like Wolf the Waste Management. That's the last company, my jumper disposal and entertainment. We set that up, and I saw a need. Believe it or not, my mom passed away.
And hold on, we're gonna pause there because your mom was just not. I don't want you to brush over your mom because your mom was the first African American,
first female fire chief.
First female, not African American, first female fire chief.
And I want to say she was in the top 5 of the first black.
Wow. That's amazing. That's just amazing. So you come from a good start where it's like, hold up, greatness was already within you.
Oh yeah. We're not ordinary.
Exactly. So I couldn't let you brush up. I remember reading about your mom. I'm like, doggone, she was. That's history.
Oh, yeah, she made history. She definitely did that. She made history. I mean, I did firefighter for a little while. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy it. I appreciate every firefighter out there.
Exactly. Your ministry, right?
Oh man!
But don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed it.
Yes,
I really enjoyed it.
So let's keep on going. I know you were saying how you got into waste management.
Waste management. So after I moved out, started remodeling my mom's house, and I had my aunties there. I'm like, hey, can you take my trash off? Then thing you know, somebody else, can you take my trash off? I said, look, know what? I'm so tired of y'all taking y'all trash out. Let me figure this thing. I'm gonna buy y'all if you can. So I went online and I just Googled some used track.
Yeah, right.
So I went and met the guy. He had a couple hundred of them. Wow. I was like, oh wow. Yeah. I said, well, let me get 20. And I was like, and I sat down and talked to him. I said, well, what's the requirement to do this for real?
Yeah.
Right. Like, well, it's certain permission you gotta have, certain license and everything. I said, okay. He said, but it's very simple. I said, well, I looked at his concept. I'm like, I can do it better. I'm not trying to down him. I can do it better.
Exactly.
So what I did was I found a company in Minnesota, and I brought their operation from them. And it was a mobile trash compactor. I'm the only one in the state of Georgia with it.
Wow.
So I had to flew in because I said, well, if I'm going to get it, I want to be unique.
Exactly.
I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to be unique. And like I say, it's still a growing business.
Yes.
So, I mean, like everybody knows, it takes time.
Yes, right. Yes.
September, we will be, 2 years.
Wow.
We have that business. And like I said, we steady going. Actually, believe it or not, I just got out of route this morning, but about 7:30 this morning.
Wow.
So, I just heard you say it. Sometimes you got to be hands-on. Right. I know, yes, I had a driver, but guess what? When the driver leaves, guess what? You still got to
operate. Still got to keep going.
You got to make it happen, man.
I love that tenacity that you have as well, and I like how you're fearless and unafraid when it comes to stepping out into new territories, to going through and actually kind of dissecting different businesses where some may see, oh my gosh, it's complex and complicated. You're like, hold up, I can figure this out because intelligence is already in there. It's like if that man can do it, if that woman can do it, I can do it as well.
Oh yeah, that's my belief. They say if one can do it, it's doable.
Yes.
That's right.
That's all I got to do. I got to find one person that have done this. And guess what? I'm finna do it now.
Exactly.
Well, I want to let you know, man, you're impacting so many lives, man, especially in our hometown, especially and around the local community, bro. Like everybody talks about you. You know, I want to dive into that nonprofit, man, because you are really impacting so many families on a weekly basis. You know, providing food and resources to them. Let's talk about the nonprofit.
Well, the nonprofit, same concept. I tell folks,
you stumbled on that too, huh?
No, ain't that I stumbled on to it. I had a desire for it, and at that time, I'll never forget. It was one Thanksgiving. We just got done feeding about 80 families, and I ain't had food in my own house.
Wow!
And folks like, I said, "Well, Lord, I tell you what." You get me out of this situation, I'll feed the rest of my life. Don't worry about this. If it's just one, I just got to feed. One. Then I find out, Lord, like, well, you're not feeding them physically, feeding them spiritually. It's because if you change that mind frame, you can change that whole life.
Oh, come on, that's it.
So, I mean, that's where I try to stay at, because it's like I said, it's never about what I put in your pocket.
Correct.
It's about how I change your life.
Wow.
And the impact.
The impact.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell you, folks, it's all about impact. I mean, we started off feeding 200 or 300 a year. And then I think the most we ever did at one time was like 800 in one day.
Wow.
So, I mean.
Okay. How do people know about, so do you have a building? Do they come to get food? Like, how does that work? How does your nonprofit? What's the name of your nonprofit?
I'm sorry. It's MIA, Maddox Investing in America Incorporated.
Okay. All right.
The website is miafoodbank.com.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
So most people can go to our food bank, which set up to our social media. We had to make it very simple where, hey, you like and follow our page, guess what happened? Every time we have a giveaway, you get notified.
Wow.
Nice.
So you don't have to worry about, well, if they doing something today? No, you already have it.
Correct.
You put it right in your hand. So, we started off with folks had to come in, sign paperwork. I said, you know what? That's taking too long. People need to be served right now. So let's make it happen right now. So we connected with Feeding America. I had got the contract with Feeding America, and I said, look, we got to do more.
Yes.
So and that's what we're doing now. What we're doing is revamping. So I'm trying to work with a couple other people. And like you said, funding went crazy.
Yes.
So you don't have the same kind of funding you had 2 or 3 years ago.
Correct.
Because like I tell most business owners, I understand.
Yep.
You can't give. You got to what? You trying to survive. Same concept. But I learned that as long as I give, I'm going to survive.
Wow.
So that's how I got out of my poverty rate.
By giving.
That's how I got out of poverty. I gave my way.
Wow.
I never just made, no, I gave my way.
You dropped the gem right there, bro.
And that's a principle right there. It's not even, I know we can talk about biblical and everything, but it's a principle in life right there.
The more you give, the more you receive.
Oh, yeah. Always.
And if you break it down to the seed concept, if we get a seed, an apple tree, and we give it to the earth, it's not going to give us back one apple. It's going to give us a tree that's going to produce what? Many apples.
But who gave you the wisdom to plant the seed? That's the whole concept.
That's it.
He don't give you. He just didn't give you the apple.
Exactly.
He gave you the wisdom to say, hey, plant it over here. Because it's what? Good ground. So when you fertile that good ground, it has no reason but to produce.
Exactly.
Right, now listen, we about to start preaching up here. But another thing is, let me say something on top of that. Like not only do he give you the wisdom to do it, but you have to have the mentality and the desire not only just to plant the seed, but not to eat the seed, and not to just throw it away, because sometimes you get the seeds or you get the apple which has the seeds in them, and guess what? Most people just throw the apple in the hull away in the trash, and so all of that talent and all that resources and stuff that you have inside you, the wisdom is, okay, well, you got 7-8 seeds from this apple, you need to plant those seeds
and work it
and work those seeds and filter the land. Cultivate the land, but it's not just the wisdom, but it's actually the empowerment to really kind of plant it, plant it. So that's a whole different thing right there. So you impact lives. So families can come to you and they get boxes of food. How does that work?
What we do, we already pre-bag bags of food for them.
Okay.
So you have a meat bag and you have non-perishable, whatever.
Correct.
See, I tell people, we're not giving out food. We're giving you what? A hands up. We're not giving you a hands out.
Wow.
So my main goal is to help you put you to the next goal.
Yes.
To not just feed you.
Wow.
Because I had to change the concept. We're not feeding people anymore. We're changing lives. That's all we're doing.
I like that.
That's a different perspective, and I think life is all about perspective. Like whatever situation a person may find themselves in, you can look at the perspective of it. Just like you said, when you were at a point where you were going through and actually serving the people with food and coming back home and realizing that, okay, well, hey, you didn't have enough for you and your family. It's the perspective. It's like, hold up, now I realize that I just need to serve more, and then as I serve more, I'm going to go through it. It can't help but to return.
So you got to realize when you're the pipe. Who get wet first?
Exactly.
So guess what? As long as I'm the pipe and I ain't got no busted hoses.
That's it. It got to flow through.
He got to flow through me. So guess what? Since he got to flow through me, you got to provide.
Wow.
I don't have, look, like I had the best terminology somebody ever told me. I don't have bills. Them God bills. I don't have problems.
Exactly.
God problems.
That's it.
That's the best book.
Bruh.
Later on, she wrote the book about how to beat depression. And I'm like, that phrase alone, like, hold on, Lord, those are not my people. Those are your people. You provide for them, not me.
Wow.
So, and I had to change my concept of, okay, I'm not doing this no more. He's doing it.
Wow.
So I took my hands off of it. Whatever you want me to do. Yeah. So I had to get out my bed.
Exactly.
Sometimes I got to spend more money than I actually make. Guess what? I ain't went lacking one time.
That ain't your problem. He the solution.
That's it.
Wow.
I love it.
Man, I want to go through and tell you, like, I guess one of the most memorable moments that I had with you. I remember coming down to your office and I cannot think of his name, the gentleman, he gave me a little poker chip.
Oh, Tony.
I met Tony, and I still have his book in my shelf at home, and I read his book, and he has a it was a philosophy of kind of transforming or kind of getting to your root and kind of transforming within. Man, tell me, I know he's gone now, but man, tell me the impact that he had on your life, man.
Oh, he had a major impact. When I met Tony, I was going through a season of trying to figure out things. I'm like, well, Lord, I'll probably reach every goal that I can personally imagine. And he made one phrase. He said, you're dreaming too small. I said, what you mean I'm dreaming so I'm doing it? He said, no. You say you had like God ain't bigger than what you imagine. He already has a vision. You trying to make your vision his vision. That's not how it works. So that's how I ended up being in Alabama. We used to go down there for ministry.
Exactly.
And I'm like, just to hear these different people speak, and I'm like, okay, like, you know me, I'm standing back in the cut. I'm like, well, I ain't speaking no more. I've been there, I've done it. So guess what, Lord? I just want to sit back and listen. So. And he got me. He like, know what? Time for you to write your book. I was like, all right. So I ended up writing my book, and it impacts so many different lives. I mean, I didn't think it'd be all on the West Coast and different things, but it's the concept of you never know who you gonna meet in life.
Yes,
that will make. So you know what? We make an impact. Yes. We're not just doing stuff no more. We're not just making money. Because I promise he spent my money himself. I'm like, come on. He said, well, it's ministry. It's not about what you stop holding on to stuff. Once you give back, you got to come more. Got to come your way.
Yes.
That's one thing that. Getting in the right circle that's going to go through now and force you to dream big.
Oh, you got to.
You have to, especially as entrepreneurs or as family men, as leaders, you got to, because my thing is if you get into a circle that's small thinking, there's no growth.
Oh, no.
There's no growth, but him showing that, because you were already successful, but the success is just not what you can do for you and yourself and your family. It's what can you do for the community? What type of change can be made that it's going to outlive you. Oh yeah, it's going to be your legacy that you're making right now, and I'll never forget, because I think he was a frat brother of mine as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think I'm a frat.
and he just his personality, his spirit, just is always. And I still have that little poker chip on my shelf at home, and it really talks to you being in the right place at the right time, because we never know where life is going to end. Oh, right. We never know. I never, like, all of a sudden I met him, then he was gone a year or so later. Wow. But the impact that he made continues.
Oh yeah,
it continues,
and it still continues. I mean, when I say stuff he talked about then, folks are still living from it right now. And I'm like, Lord, thank you for giving me the opportunity just to meet people like that. It's not just. I just don't want to live no more. I want to see the epic.
Exactly.
I tell folks, I say, when you're talking kingdom living, we ain't talking church no more.
Exactly.
We're talking kingdom living.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, let's change the word. And like I said, I'm an ambassador for the kingdom.
Come on, bro.
I changed my term.
Exactly.
So, and it's when you be around other people that empower you, you have to change. Bruh. You can't stay the same.
Oh, man.
I told you, you got to change the atmosphere before it changes you.
Exactly.
So,
and one thing that I see, man, is like, you're not saying it, you're doing it, you're living it. Like I people are feeling the effects of the fruits of your labor, of the fruits of your investments, and especially our community. I'm going to go back to our community, which is in Hancock County. We are feeling the effect. Like you are such an inspiration to others and us. When you can look
talk about you a lot, bro.
Oh yeah, when you can look to the left and to the right, and you see people
that. It's two of us. I'm like, Tim got this by himself. Like, how is his eyes open without being bloodshot red?
Exactly.
It be bloodshot.
Oh man,
talking about all of this stuff. Well, I want to ask you, what's next for Tim Maddox? Is it politics? Is it pretty much?
I almost did politics.
You did politics.
I almost did.
Oh my goodness, what you about to do, bro?
Believe it or not, I don't know.
We gonna vote for Tim for mayor.
I'm just trying to live life, and I'm trying to live it to the fullest. Right?
Exactly.
Because I'm just trying to have a new prospect on what's next.
Yeah.
So it's nothing that I'm really just planning.
Right.
I'm just walking in the season.
You know, that's why I realized a lot of opportunities and stuff come when you least expect it.
Oh yeah.
And so, when you could come in and you could think about like even a person you connect with, a business opportunity, or even like a travel thing, that you end up meeting somebody here and that build a relationship there. So a lot of they come unexpected.
Oh yeah.
Unexpected. So I like that you go with the flow.
Wow.
Everything I got came really unexpected.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just like I went from real estate to party rental. They're like how in the world? But that was by accident because somebody was talking about a jumper. I never seen one a day in my life.
Right.
And I'm like, they making what? Again? I said, oh shoot, that ought to be one.
Exactly.
Never seen one a day in my life. They've been doing it 15 years now.
Man.
So I'm like,
we actually used one of your stuff in our family reunion actually in July. And so we appreciate it, man. We appreciate that.
Man. Well, what I want to do is, because we're going to be kind of going a little bit deeper in the after show, but what I want to do before we end this segment right here, I want you to go through and actually talk to that entrepreneur that's out there that's just getting started, that may feel like, oh my gosh, I wasn't brought up on the right side of the tracks, or I may not have the funding, or hey, I grew up in rural community where access is not there. Talk to that person to go through and give them the first step of what to do, but also some encouraging words so that they know that because you did it, because we did it, they can do it as well.
Well, the key to that, and this how I say, it's a pen and a sheet of paper. Write the vision. When I say write it, I mean write it. Make it so plain that you can come back to it 10 years later and understand that same vision. Next, find somebody that actually in that market that you want to be in. Folks think that, hey, sometimes go work for them. Don't be ashamed. Go work for them.
Right.
See how the business actually works. Next, get your stuff in order. That means your credit. That's your biggest thing most folks don't understand. Get your credit right. Because you'll be amazed what door you're going to have. They understand. Go to the library, read. Google. Man, Google is the biggest thing out there now. Guess what? Take the time that it needed to get there. Don't be in no rush. Well, hey, I go up on the wrong side of the road. All right, cool. I grew up without a father. And what that supposed to mean? I still make things happen.
That's right.
It doesn't matter. You have to, whatever obstacle, whatever thing that's in your way, move it out your way. And first, and the main thing, have a relationship. And I ain't talking about a partnership with someone else. Have a relationship with Almighty. Because guess what? He's going to give you the vision that you need and understand. He said he'll give you the ability to gain wealth. He said he's just going to give it to you. So that means he'll have to download something inside of you to make you what? Make your vision come to pass.
Wow.
So those are the main things I can tell anybody when they're trying to achieve.
Brother, oh my gosh.
Listen, you just ended right there. I love that. That was a great ending. Tim, thank you so much for coming in. I want to let our audience know, definitely we're having the post show, the after show. After this, we're going to dive more into the ins and outs of Tim Maddox. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember to go on Spotify, subscribe to our Spotify account, give us 5 stars. If you have gained valuable information, some gems were definitely shared by the one and only Tim and Ferris and myself. But definitely, if you can, go to Spotify, leave us a 5-star review, and definitely I hope you have enjoyed this great episode of Conversation with the Homecare Guyz.
All right, have an amazing week.